Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Anne Marie Wells, and this is The Joy of Poeting. Today, we are taking a look at the poem style, poetic form, the cento. So, a cento is essentially a collage of, of words, text, phrases, lines, and you can build your collage poem, your cento, in a myriad of ways. One way is to have a kind of like craft project, if you will. Say, you create your own additional constraints. For example, you might say, I will write a cento using only my Facebook statuses for 2024. Or you might say, I'm only going to use lines from the Constitution, or I'm only going to use lines from the journal my grandmother wrote as she was growing up, or letters I received from my boyfriend who was overseas in the war, or what have you. Maybe you go into your cento instead of with where the text is going to come from, or maybe in addition to where the text is going to come from, you will go into your poem thinking, oh, I want to write a poem about X. So you want to write a love poem, or you want to write um, a poem that is reflective of your current experience with parenthood or fear or something like that. Uh, and another way, there are plenty of ways to go about writing a cento. There are no like, this is how you do it, or this is how you do it, or this is how you do it. You can create a cento however you want. For today's example, I brought with me a stack of poetry collections that I love, and I am going to just kind of peruse them. Luckily, I'm one of those people who loves to write in their books. I'm not one of those people who have to keep their books pristine and nothing is written in them, no folded pages. All of my pages are folded. I have underlines or highlight. I circle poems. I tear them out even if I want to carry them with me. And so I'm going to go through my stack of books here, pull out some lines, and I'll write them down on my page. And then I'm going to take those lines that I love and I'm going to try and like puzzle them together into a cento. So that's my plan. Let's let's get to work. I don't know what my poem is going to be about. I was thinking that because my partner has a birthday coming up that I would write him kind of like a birthday poem or something, but you know how poems are, they just kind of take on a life of their own. So the first book I'm taking a look at is Taking Back the Body by Talicha J. Um, I am, I know that yeah, so I know that I underline things. I also put words that I don't know what they are on the side so I can look them up later when it happens. This one says, all the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. Oh my gosh, what a line. I'm going to hold on to that. Do, do, do. I want to just pull single lines out. I don't want to take more than a couple of lines at a time. Okay, well, I guess this one's going to be the winner. So I'm just going to write this down for right now. It's not going to necessarily go in this order. Swallowed moments, hiding. Maybe you want to do this with me. You can get your own stack of books that you love and just kind of fish through them for lines that you like. All right, the next one I have is Ephemera by Sierra DeMulder. This is a book that I got randomly when I ordered a bundle of books from Button Poetry, they had a sale. Oh, sorry, I should be showing you the pages. They had a sale. It was like, order all of our books and get 50% off the bundle. So I did it, and this was in it. And oh my gosh, I love this book. And I know I loved way more than what I'm seeing here. What I'm thinking is maybe I read this book without a pen in my hand. Ooh, I like this line. Um, let's see. I'm gonna put everywhere but in your bed where I am a wild creature. So also I should mention that what I'm doing, I'm writing the lines just as a phrase, but some people when they write their cento, they write it out and have the line breaks as it appears in the book or the text that they're borrowing from. I'm not going to do that in this case. I will create my own line breaks, but that is a different way that you can go about doing it. Another book I love, Deaf Republic by Ilya Kaminsky. This is kind of like part poetry book, part like play, stage play. It's a um, full narrative. I was weeping while I read this book. Mm. I love this line right here that I just can underline this right now. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulder. I don't know how that's going to fit in, but I'm going to try and make it. I might end up breaking it up into two phrases. The I don't know anything about you, except the spray of freckles on your shoulders. Beautiful. All right, next book I have is Prayer for Relief by Krystle Statler, who wrote this book in grief of her brother who passed away from police violence. And her use of space on the page is so poignant and really adds to the like, look at these, are like blurred out. I love it. Okay. Yeah, so like the form it takes on the page, all these poems is just so meaningful. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna hold this page. Oh, I love this line. You cried cold blue oceans. I'm gonna just put that. You cried cold blue oceans. Another way that you can do it is that you find your first line and then you say, oh, okay, I need something that's going to go right after this. And so you search for a line that would fit after that. Um, maybe I'm adding more work to for myself, I'm not sure, but I'm going to just choose lines that I love and then kind of piece them together. Good Dress by Brittany Rogers. I just finished reading this maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was so awesome. It was a recommended to me by another poet, and another one that experiments with form, the blank space on a page. I'm going to use this line. I won't consider leaving though winter grips my neck. I won't consider leaving though winter grips my neck.
Hey, Anne-Marie, do you mind if I ask what book that is again?
Oh yeah, this is Good Dress by Brittany Rogers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the next book I have is The Invisible World by Matt Daly. These are all like eco poems. And this is a brand new book, like it just came out either this year, like in the last month or so, or it came out late last year. Hmm. I like this line at the bottom here. Oh, I'm writing in pencil, but when I do my final poem, I'll put in pen so you can see it better. Um, another kindness in a pasture, alive with kindness. We need more kindness in this world. All right, another book I love, Study of the Raft by Leonora Simonovis. And this book, um, also along with Brittany Rogers' Good Dress, they both have contrapuntals, which is I opened right up to it, which is a form of poetry where when you read one side and you read the other side, they're two separate poems, but then you can read it across as well. I will have to do this eventually on The Joy of Poeting, and I am not well versed in it, so it's going to be one of those longer ones where I'm figuring it out. But it's just so brilliant, and I loved this collection. It was the winner of the Colorado Prize for Poetry some years ago. Another way you could do it is kind of like a Dada poem, where you choose words at random, where you just kind of open up and say, okay, I'm going to use this line, and no matter what, you use that line. That's another way you could do it. I'm going to use this little section here. People move from one collapsed world to another. People move from, I'm hoping that these go well together. World to another. Okay, I have just two more books. The next one is Dream of the Bird Tattoo by Juan J. Morales. He's a mentor of mine, and I honestly, I'm not just sucking up to him. He's not going to watch this episode anyway. He's one of my favorite poets. I love everything that he wrote. He wrote his collection before this won awards. It's like Handyman's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse or something like that. And you would think that like DIY on your house and zombies don't necessarily go together, but then the entire book is about his divorce. It works. I swear to you, it works. And this beautiful collection is about his father passing, as well as different recollections of dreams that he's had. And it's just, it's marvelous. I love it so much. Maybe I'll choose a line from this. This was actually in the New York Times after the hurricane hit Puerto Rico. He is of Puerto Rican descent. Hmm. I'll come back. Oh. Maybe I'm just like, this line here says, I confess to secret moments when I feel embarrassed for taking this so hard. But maybe I'm just going to use the first line. I confess to secret moments when I feel. And then I'll put in brackets, embarrassed, just in case it doesn't fit quite well into my little mishmash. And then the last book I'm going to draw from is Midnight and Mad Dreams by James Coates. He's actually going to be substitute teaching for me on June 1st. I have some subs coming up. I'll tell you about them at the end of today. He also experiments with some form in here as well. He has forms that he has invented himself. And yeah, like spiders too. So we're pretty familiar with the duplex by Jericho Brown. He invented a play on the duplex called the suplex, which is essentially these lines are then a mirror image of these lines here. Hmm. I'm going to use this line. What is it to be camouflaged? To be a camouflaged thing, always watched, never seen. Okay. So I have my lines here. I'm going to just rip this out for a sec. I'll have this to the side. And now I'm going to piece together. I think I'm going to start with the question and then let the rest of the poem be the answer. So I'm going to put, what is it to be a camouflaged thing, always watched? I'm going to worry about line breaks later. I'm only going to worry about order right now. So I'm going to cross this one out. I've used this. Oh, and you might be wondering, like, is this copyright infringement? And the answer is no. This is considered fair use. When you take someone else's work and recreate it completely into a new work, it's considered fair use. However, you get into some blurred lines when you take more than 3 lines from someone's book without permission. So fair use or like quoting in your book or something like that, quoting in a text. If it's fewer than 3 lines, in general, that's considered fair use. If it's more than 3 lines and you're using using the text to sell, like you're selling your book and you're making money off of it, then in general, it's a blurred line and you should just avoid it to avoid any problems. What is it to be a camouflage thing? Always watched, never seen. Ooh, I'm gonna go. Okay, so I'm going backwards. I confess to secret moments. This just fits too well. It feels meant to be. But I swear I didn't prepare ahead of time. I confess to secret moments when I feel, and then I'm going straight to people move from one collapsed world to another. People move from one collapsed world to another. And then the line before that actually starts with another. So I'm going to go with that one too. Another kind, this just fits really well. And it might not always happen so easily, but I guess when you're using like brilliant poets' work, that maybe brilliance begets brilliance type of thing with kindness. Okay, so what do I have so far? So far, I have the last 4 lines on my little list here. What is it to be a camouflage thing? Always watched, never seen. I confess to secret moments when I feel people move from one collapsed world to another. Another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. I'm going to make this a comma, and then this will be a lowercase. Okay, so what do I want next? I won't consider leaving through winter, though winter grips my neck. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulder. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed where I am a wild creature. All the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. I'm going to write you cried cold blue oceans and then everywhere but in your bed where I am a wild creature. Comma, all the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. Let's see. What do I want to have next? I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulders. Okay. I think I'm going to go with I don't know anything about you first. So I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulders. I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. What is it to be a camouflage thing, always watched, never seen? I confess to secret moments when I feel people move from one collapsed world to another. Another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. That doesn't really fit there, does it? Because it's like one collapsed world. People move from one collapsed world to the other. I'm going to move this one here. I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. So I'm gonna move this somewhere else. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed where I am a wild creature. Ooh, I'm gonna put that here then, because it's talking about wild creatures. Okay. Reorder. Let's try it again. What is it to be a camouflage thing? Always, oops, sorry guys. I'm getting too far ahead. What is it to be a camouflage thing? Always watched, never seen. I confess to secret moments when I feel people move from one collapsed world to another. I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed where I am a wild creature, another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. All the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. I don't know anything about you, except, actually, now I'm going to move this one. So this is the last line. Okay, let's try it again. What is it to be a camouflage thing, always watched, never seen? I confess to secret moments when I feel people move from one collapsed world to another. Now I feel like I'm in a choose your own adventure story. I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed, where I'm a wild creature, another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulders, all the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rewrite this again so that it's not this crazy mess here. Okay. While I'm rewriting, does anybody have any questions about this or my process or Centos or have any comments, hopes, dreams that you want to share? When I rewrite this and I work on revisions, then I will take a look at line breaks and figure out how I want this to be structured. Do I want it to be a prose poem? Do I want it to be more reflective of how these lines appeared originally in their own books? From one collapsed world to another. Okay, and then I'll put a period there. I won't consider leaving the winter grips my neck. Okay. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed where I am, oops, that looks like arm, and a wild creature, and then another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulders. All the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking Oh, okay. What is it to be a camouflage thing, always watched, never seen? I confess to secret moments when I feel people move from one collapsed world to another. I won't consider leaving, though winter grips my neck. You cried cold blue oceans everywhere, but in your bed, where I am a wild creature, another kindness in a pasture alive with kindness. I don't know anything about you except the spray of freckles on your shoulders, all the swallowed moments hiding behind its slick wrecking ball. I think that turned out pretty good for writing a Cento on the fly here. Um, okay. Hi everybody.
Great
Questions,
job.
comments?
Just praise. That was beautiful.
So I do want to tell you that I have some subs coming up on Sunday, April 6th. I'm going to have Sarah Beth Brooks here. She's going to demonstrate her own invented form titled Box Cars, which she invented in a form workshop that I hosted last year in September. And then Ginger, who's in the audience today, is going to be here on May 25th, I think it is, 26th, 25th, the last Sunday in May. And she will be demonstrating her invented form, the Centum, which is a combination of the Cento and Pantum hybrid poem. And then my friend James Coates, I said, is going to be here on June 1st. And he's going to be demonstrating his invented form titled The Four Kings. Angela, I answered your question about copyright, and I didn't even see that you wrote it in the chat. Yes, and I also agreed that attribution, you often see with centos in the back, um, not like each individual line, but you say like this cento contains borrowed lines from Juan J. Morales, Leonora Simonovis, Brittany Rogers, Matt Daly, et cetera, et cetera. And you just like list the people. All right. If there's no questions, then I will see you next week. I haven't decided what poetic form is next, so I have this like little list that I have running. Okay, we did the Cento. Oh, I think maybe it's Villanelle, but I want to try to do the ones that people request um, first, and then we'll go back to a poll. So maybe next week will be Villanelle. Challenge. All right, I'll stick around in case anybody has any questions, but otherwise, good night and thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Can we just learn how to write an original poem? Sure. Like without any kind of form, just like free verse? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, free verse? Okay. I will add that to my list. Okay. So still on the list is a Sijo spoken word poem, and now I'll add free verse. Okay. Yep, no problem. We'll get to it eventually. Good night. Bye.